So thank you very much for Matthew Anderson for commenting on the previous video. Here is what you told me, Matthew, is that about the clutch. I mean, the clutch disc is inside here, and it's from a Moskvich. It's a Russian car and belongs to that Russian transmission. So I had to go for that clutch because the original Ford clutch here, clutch disc, is pretty small. It won't fit here, as you see. So, and they are pretty rare, so I got that one from Russia even, and it came on eBay. So I got it on eBay. The problem is the Russians, they went bigger is always better. You know, Russia, Rasputin, Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen. And it was pretty big, so I had to grind it with my angle grinder, and you don't want to know how it looked like. Oops, oh, I tipped over. How it looked like here all around with that, how to call it, clutch, you know, powder or stuff. And I had to grind it, and it was pretty thick too. And the thickness, when you start screwing those screws here inside, how it works actually, I know maybe you know it better, but once you, so this clutch holding mechanism, it holds the disc on the flywheel, between the flywheel and itself. And it is always engaged actually, and once you want to disengage it, so you push the clutch, it pushes these springs here to the inside, and it releases. Once this goes inside, those bigger springs comes outside, and it releases the disc. So there is no tension anymore between the engine and the transmission. And the problem is, once you start screwing those one with the new disc inside, it is pretty much thicker, this one goes already inside, so you can't push it anymore and you can't release the clutch. I tried everything, it don't work, so I had no other solution but adding washers. And by adding the first washers, it went less to the inside while screwing. So I removed everything, I put other layer of, or how to call it, of washers. It worked much better. So I could put the transmission and everything, and I can change gears and, you know, pull the clutch, try the engine, trying to hold it from the rear. It stops, don't turn, but it was pretty hard. So I tried with the third washer all around, and it works much better. So yeah, this is the way how to turn the engine with the hand. Yeah, and there is no real clutch pedal, it's not mounted on a car. But later, maybe when it's mounted on a car and it works and runs, it gives another, you know, results. So I will have to change that maybe. And in the end, I don't think I'm gonna keep those small washers inside. Maybe I'm gonna make another adapter plate, or how to call it, spacer plate, all around. But until I figure out how to do it, I'm still going with this system right now. And yeah, who knows. And about the screw that went inside is from this oil pump. There were two screws. I lost one from here and one from here inside. When I tipped the engine, one from the outer screws came down, fell out, and the other one, I don't find it. Just don't find it. Since yesterday in the evening, I'm looking how to. I'm checking on my ground. Maybe it fell down and I didn't saw it. Yeah, that sucks. The engine turns actually. There is nothing. There is no noise, nothing. But even if I turn the engine all positions and I flip the engines, I mean, and I just turn everywhere, there is nothing. But I'm sure once I close everything and turn it on, something bad will happen, so I have to get it out. I tried longer magnets, I tried everything in my power. I just don't find it. That sucks. Yeah, so I have to find a way how to get it out. I wanted to do a lot of stuff this weekend, but I'm just working on that fucking screw that I lost inside the engine. Yeah, and as I said in the comment answer to your comment, this engine stood for over 30 years. They took it off from the car, all complete, with the carburetor, with transmission on and everything, and it stood for over 30 years. You know, so it can maybe the reason why all that mud and gross stuff inside, you know. But lucky me, here inside the engine you don't find that stuff. Maybe on the crankcase here and stuff, because it turned by me. And when I bought the engine, it wasn't able to turn. I just used these rust remover from motorcycle tanks or car tanks, from fuel tanks, you know, and yeah, I used it to free the cylinders and the pistons, and then even the valves here on the engine. You don't want to know how they was, you know. That was pretty rusty here all around. You can't even recognize them. And now look how it works, how it looks like, you know, without any machine there. This is rest from that stuff, so you can take it off with your fingernails maybe. So I will clean it, of course, before I put it on the engine, but you know, look how it became. I don't have pictures of it, how it was, but you can imagine that, you know, 30 years sitting with, you know, it has a sealing problem, and the water was mixed with the oil and everywhere water for 30 years long. How it was, I can't imagine. That's magic how it became now. Yeah. And yeah, just getting the screw out, maybe taking the whole engine to the car wash place there and give it some wash with the Karcher inside outside, and bring it back here, after of course controlling the oil, the fuel pump and everything works. So I just already checked the oil pump. I'm not gonna replace it, because replacement, they are only used and they are pretty expensive, almost the same price I paid for the engine, including everything it have, you know. So I'm gonna keep my used one, you know. And yeah, maybe this little filter, inside filter, have this hole. I'm gonna put another net on it, another metal net or something, just to make sure it's clean enough. And yeah, as I said, and then maybe later a little bit of cleaning, and I want to paint it, maybe red, maybe blue. Ford was blue, maybe red, maybe, I don't know, I think red is more hot roddy. I don't know if you see the colors of the car, maybe red or blue, this blue, I don't know. Later I'm gonna decide, maybe with your help, but here we are. The cylinder heads, I would love to have them in chrome, but it's not possible. It's pretty expensive. I'm gonna clean them, and then, you know, looking to the engine color and the cylinder heads, I don't know, maybe black, maybe gray, shiny gray, goldy gray, I don't know. Later I will decide. Yeah, that's it. Have a nice day, you and everyone who commented on this video.